Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the alexlandin grenades. Well, a special type of alexlandin grenades. Again, the hand grenades were still made and whatever. So, this was the Urikine, a small hand grenade. Now, the original size was this. And these are remakes. The original ones would be made out of metal and stuff. As you can see, this one is round and has, a little fuse. Wait, let me just fix that. Has a tiny, tiny fuse that would stick. Now, how these worked was, well, you would have to make the circle, and these were made with them in the musket ball factory just because of the circle. Now, they were made with a weaker metal, and it wasn't until they used clay that worked. You see that, the fuse here, will it be a fuse? You would have the little trap trigger piece, which is the circle, as you can see. And, then you would place that over, but then someone would have to take something. Now, these wouldn't be wood, but it would be a metal toothpick with a, this side that you would hold would have a little cloth piece, and you would jam it down there, breaking through to make a little hole piece, and then you would take gunpowder, and you would, with these ones, kind of sprinkle it in, and try to clean it around the edges, And, these would be manufactured in boxes of 500. They were first made in 605. Now, in 605, they were not used as an individual, but you would tie them in a bag, or hold onto a bag, and you would have to open the bag, light the fuse, grab it, throw it, and it would hit the ground, and your enemies would, if they weren't dealing with battle, or sometimes Night Watch would do this, and it would scare the enemies pretty bad. So they would blow up, and now these didn't cause much damage. This one keeps flying over. Wait, yeah. Now these didn't cause very much damage. These ones specifically, but if you were close enough, it would definitely scratch and cut you. So, yeah. The next one, which I'm gonna talk about these bigger ones here, and then I'll talk about the two tiny ones. The next one, which was the first one to have a tall trap piece, as you can see compared to the normal. The first one, the second one had a taller trap piece, and did more damage. These ones were made with clay, but it was like a clay metal mix piece. So the gunpowder would be sprinkled in with tiny bits of iron, and so these ones again would be launched in a bag, and you would do the same process. And now these ones, soldiers knew that, they would get a few cuts, but they'd be fine. Well, these ones would and blow up big time. Like, they would have the power of 4 normal grenades, and they would shoot shrapnel, tiny bits, and it would, let's just say, it was not pretty. It did worse damage. Now, these, of course, are, now this one, which was the biggest of them, you could throw, now these grenades weren't meant to be thrown. You would put them in a bag, a cloth bag of a cloth that wouldn't burn, but was cheap enough. That was not too expensive. So, as you see, this is, a bigger trap piece. Works just like this one, but bigger. You would, you would place like one or two of these. Now, these ones did just as much damage. Well, they did about the damage, about 4 of these would equal one of these. And now, a couple of these, now you could definitely get a bigger bag, but you have to, throw that, and it's gonna just hit the ground and blow up in no man's land. So usually, if you were charging across the enemies, they'd have some guys, take a bag of these, and, you had to be really strong. So they would try to find, the strongest person to, do this, and they'd have the bag, in their hand, and whoop. So then, they'd have to throw it a short distance, really, and it would blow up, and the enemies would be like, oh no, they'd run away, and you could clear a trench easily. So and these ones were 1901 to 1925. So, and the biggest version, which could be a handheld grenade, again, they all use the same name, had a bigger trap. It had a string here. They all worked the same. But the trap piece gave it a longer time, which was good for these ones. But see, the problem was you would have to wait until the fuse was about there lighted, because you don't want to burn yourself, and unless you're wearing gloves, but you don't want to set your gloves on fire. So, again, you would put them in the back. These ones were meant to be grouped up, and they'd blow up, and this would actually add shrapnel too. These were brass, but this was the biggest version, as you can see, compared to my hand. Pretty big. Yeah, kind of. Wait, let me just see what it do. And your enemies would be like, oh no, these ones were branded. These would be from 1925 to 1938, so a very short time, and you can't use them now because it goes against alexlandin codes. Now the final two, which I'll quickly breeze over because I don't want the video to get too long, is this one, a very tiny, but it would be used for assassinations. I bet you're wondering, well, how could this do damage? It did. It used the normal ones used a white gunpowder, which was also used in bullets, which would make the shrapnel pieces shoot farther. And this one used the dangerous of a mixture of gray and black powder, and a bunch of others. And you would have to get like a little drop needle thing, and shoop. And they were hard to make, but well, these all, like, the bigger ones were super easy, but the tinier they got, the worse it was. So yeah, these would, do the exact same. Now, the tiniest of alexlandin grenades I have to be really careful on, is this one. Tiny, and these you could get in packs for, the military only paid, to produce them it was $10, but the military paid about $5 of packs of 2 million of them. Some guys would just grab the box, puncture a hole, light one of the fuses, place it, and just chuck the box over at the enemies, and so yeah. See you guys later. Yeah.